In so many big cities, as the cost of housing has risen, people have been looking for innovative ways of creating density and helping to make housing more affordable. One of those solutions that happened right here in Vancouver was Laneway houses. And today, I'm about to see my very first one. G'day, Scott.
Hey.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Bryce.
Hi, Tania. Lovely to meet you.
too.
This is such an adorable little home.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now, I think a lot of people who don't live in Vancouver would have absolutely no idea what a laneway is. Can you tell me, what is a laneway house?
Well, it's basically a home that faces onto a lane in Vancouver. So about 10 years ago, the city tried to improve density in single-family areas, and because there's so many lanes in these areas, it made sense to have little houses that faced onto the lane, because there's a lot of lanes in Vancouver. So ours is on a corner, so we're able to have a door on the main street, which is nice, but my parents just live over here, so we arranged with them to build on their property, and yeah, that's sort of the rundown.
So essentially, it's just a kind of accessory dwelling unit.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
We decided to build a laneway house after spending a fair bit of time just looking for either options to buy in Vancouver or rental situations, and my dad actually suggested to us that we should maybe build a laneway house in their backyard because it was this new thing you could do in Vancouver. And at first we weren't sure about that, but after another few months of looking for options that were kind of dire, it looked like actually a good idea. So we talked to my parents again about it and figured out how we could take over their garden with the house.
Well, I have never seen a laneway home before, so I am very excited to see what it's like on the inside. Can we check it out?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
All right. This is so neat. What is the size of this home?
It's, is it 498 square feet?
Yeah.
And how long have you been living in this home now?
It's 7 years now.
Yeah.
Right, and how are you finding life in the laneway?
I mean, it's perfect for the two of us. It's a really good size for us and our birds. We were able to design something that really fit our needs, so it's really custom made for what we wanted. So yeah, it's been great.
So when you were designing the home, what were some of those elements that were really important to you?
Definitely good storage options since it's so small. Just like kind of a mixture of modern and traditional aesthetic was something I wanted to achieve as well. And yeah, I guess that's the main things.
Yeah.
Oh, balcony. Wanted a balcony.
Yeah. Yeah, having the park across the street and being on a corner lot is a nice opportunity for us because our balcony overlooks the park, and we've got, you know, her parents on one side and the park on the other, and so we only have neighbors on two sides, which is yeah, nice and private.
And so entering the home, we've come right into your kitchen. Can you talk to me about this?
So I really was obsessed with farmhouse sinks, and I just needed that. And we didn't have a dishwasher before, so it's really nice to have this little mini one. That's all we really need. The countertop's kind of cool. It's called paper stone, so it's actually compressed paper that's been treated to be heat and water resistant.
Oh, wow.
And it gets like kind of a natural patina that starts getting more character with age, and it happens to match this industrial cart that we got to put here. So
And the locker too, for that matter.
And well, wanted plenty of storage, so everything's like really tall, and just we need a step stool, but you know, maximize the storage.
So this is our stove here. We've got a gas range on top with an electric oven and a warming drawer on the bottom.
We really like to cook, so that was definitely a bit of an investment, but it was important for us to have a nice range. So yeah.
I really appreciate cooking with gas because it's just a lot faster, a lot more responsive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fridge is designed to be, it's the same cubic inches as a standard one, but it's taller and narrower, so it fits in a smaller space as well.
Nice, that one's a great find.
Yeah.
And then connected to your kitchen is your lounge area. Can you tell me about this?
because it's such a small space, we had to have a multi-use living and dining area. The table a friend of ours designed for us to transform into a dining table, which is really cool.
Yeah, it actually raises and it expands.
Yeah, so we've got a built-in couch, and we were able to get it designed with drawers underneath, and I noticed that there was sort of an empty spot on the floor plan showing it, and when we did the measurements, I saw that it fit like folding chairs underneath, so yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little trapdoor put on the side.
Yeah.
Clever bit of design there.
Yeah.
And then some of the furniture that you've got in here is just so unique. You mentioned before this rolling cart, but then you've also got this really beautiful cabinet here.
Yeah, we sort of wanted something more unique in terms of furniture. Since we had so many built-ins, it all looks very streamlined, but these were super funky at an antique store that we went to. So they're actually remake models of industrial stuff from originally France, I guess, but the locker is our pantry, so it's just sort of a fun way to to store our food. And when we first got them, people were pretty fascinated with them.
Yeah, you definitely notice it when you come in.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun.
And then in this room, it's hard not to notice as well your incredible entertainment system and all of these really interesting speaker setup that you've got on the wall.
Yeah, well, I was really happy to find these flatter speakers because they have a much lower profile on the wall. And you'll notice there's another two above the couch there, so we get our surround sound that way. And while the house was being built, I ran an RCA cable from the bottom of that cabinet to our closet upstairs, so I can actually play music from here out our speakers upstairs.
We like to play music and records, so hidden in there is our custom record space, which is fun.
And that's especially important to you, isn't it, Scott? Because you actually work as a musician.
I do, yeah. I make electronic music, and so what I do is I like to record interesting sounds from the natural environment, especially when I travel, and then I take those recordings and I use that as a foundation to make music.
Very cool. That sounds super unique. And you do that from a home studio, don't you?
I do, yeah. So my home studio is in the basement next door, so nice and close, and I can leave all my stuff set up there.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's perfect for me.
And Tania, you're in a fantastic position because you actually get to work from here, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a little garage studio that I do my textile design and graphics and stuff. So yeah, it's been really nice to work from home in that space.
Great. Can you show us? This is a really cool workspace.
Thanks. Tried to decorate it with some fun vintage things, and this is where I do pretty much all my work. It's a computer-based textile design that I do, so basically a dress like this is made of photographs that I take in different places. This was all in Belize, so there's like the octopus orchid and some epiphytes, and it's all blended together to make something that's flattering to wear, and yeah.
Oh, that's really lovely. And how great that you can do all of this just from your own home as well.
Yeah, no, I love working in this space. It's nice and bright, and it's definitely a dream come true, really. I mean, I never thought I'd have this nice of a workspace, like, at this point.
Now, something that I love about this room is how it opens out onto this courtyard. That is such a lovely feature.
Yeah, we developed a nice courtyard area that kind of brings the two houses together, and it's great for outdoor parties and barbecuing. And Tania's mom has recreated a beautiful new garden with the changed space now.
Yeah, she's responsible for most of that, all of that, and then I do the upstairs. Yeah.
Well, should we check out the upstairs area?
Sure.
All right. After you.
All right.
Oh, this is just such a nice space. And I really like the use of windows here. This whole place is just flooded with light, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of natural light because we have windows there and we've got a nice skylight there, so it's quite bright.
It makes it feel kind of bigger and more open.
Yeah, definitely. That's something people often say when they come in. We tell them the size and they go, oh, that's small. And then they come in and they go, oh, wow, this is way bigger than I expected.
Yeah.
It seems bigger inside than it looks from the outside.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. Good design just counts for so much in terms of a sense of space.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's especially nice how this room just completely opens up onto the balcony. And as you said before, this incredible view of the park.
Yeah, we're really, really lucky to be across from that.
Yeah, no, and it's very private. Like, they build the walls up so that when you're sitting there, it feels like, you know, you can really tell that you're on a street, and you can also spy on people.
Yep.
And then you've got your birds up here as well. Tell me about them.
Yeah, we've had ginkgo and tiki for about 2 years now. And we adopted them from a rescue agency called Greyhaven. And yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're definitely unpredictable and have unique personalities, but they're a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Good small house pets, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
When they're not chewing everything to bits.
Yeah.
Or chirping at 90 decibels.
Yeah. Gotcha. Maybe not the best small house pet then. Fair enough.
Yeah. They're pretty good, yeah.
And then up here we are now in your bedroom. Can you tell me about this?
Yeah, so we decided to do more built-ins, and they're just sort of lining on either side of the bed. We couldn't really do drawers because the bed is like, it's not really enough room to pull a drawer out. So I got these crates from a craft shop and just whitewashed them to look a little nicer. And no, it's a very cozy bedroom.
And then you've got the bathroom off the bedroom.
Yeah, so this is our bathroom here. It's there's a shower, there's no bathtub. We don't really take baths, and it takes up more floor space. Yeah. So by having a shower instead of a bathtub, it meant we could have another closet there, which made a lot more sense because we wanted to make sure we maximized our storage space as much as possible.
So you've been living in this home now for 7 years. What's life like here?
Well, it's, I mean, similar to living anywhere else. I guess, like, in terms of what makes it unique is having a smaller space. You really have to be conscious about having a place to put things, you know. Things get cluttered very quickly if you leave things out, so we got to make sure we put everything in its right place.
I think being right by my parents is just also really unique about it. Like, we've been able to, you know, we see each other, but we also go for days where we don't, and so we have lots of privacy, but we still can hang out, and it's just really nice to have that sort of feeling of family community. And so they come over sometimes, or we go there, and it just makes us a bit more community minded, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And so now let's talk about the cost of this project. What did this actually cost to realize?
Well, all in with all the landscaping, including the front of my parents' house and everything, it was about 280,000 Canadian. So pretty reasonable, really, considering the quality materials and everything, and the fact that we would have spent that on a very old, small apartment in Vancouver that we would have to renovate. So
yeah, and the value of lots in this neighborhood, like, what's your parents' lot valued at? It's like
all of these lots are over 2 million generally. Yeah. So yeah, like, we've also increased the value of the property by building this here. So that's like also a perk for my parents. And yeah.
Well, we feel very fortunate to have a place like this, and we didn't really imagine we'd be able to have something that's nice.
No, we were looking at some pretty grim apartments. And so having a space like this is definitely a quality of life we really grateful to have.
One of the advantages of our situation here is that the money that we're putting into this house is building equity. We're not paying rent that's just going to somebody else. So we're actually paying to build something, which is definitely a better use of our income. And it's very, you know, modest compared to rents in Vancouver. So it frees up a lot of our income. It means I'm able to work a 4-day week and have longer weekends to work on my music and work on side projects.
Yeah, and we're able to travel more than we would otherwise. So we can use more of that income for that. And no, it's definitely helpful that way.
I think homes like this just make so much sense, especially in a city like Vancouver where the cost of real estate is ridiculous and it's so hard for young people to find affordable options. You have done such a brilliant job with this home, and thank you so much for sharing it with me.
Thank you.
Cheers. Laneway houses are just such a brilliant idea, especially in cities like Vancouver. Finding ways to densify and make more affordable living for people is just so important. You can really see see the impact that it's had on this couple's life. It has given them, in a crazy expensive city, the ability to create their own home. And that is really beautiful.